Good evening, Meticulous Moments audience. Thank you so much for joining us for yet another enlivening session here at the Meticulous Moments podcast, where we facilitate community upliftment through leadership development. And this evening, I have the wonderful privilege of spending time with the amazing Sifu Raphael. How are you, Sifu?
I'm doing phenomenal. Thank you for having me on your show. I'm very excited.
Same here, especially after having met you in person. I mean, I know you, we've been talking. We had a wonderful time at your dojo in New York. I was super blessed. It was the highlight of my trip to the US. But for those in the audience that are not acquainted with you, would you just introduce yourself?
Sure. I love the mindset. I love communication. I love people. And meeting you was a great time. The thing is, I teach Kung Fu and I've been doing martial arts for about 47 years. It's crazy because I'm only like 26, right? And I don't know how that happens. But, for me, I'm also an entrepreneur. I have several businesses, including a wood shop. I've done architectural drawings. I also have 4 different shows, and I just love impacting people's lives. I'm also a coach, either for business or people come to me because they want to get out of their own way.
I love that about you, and I saw that from the beginning that I started following you on social media. I realized that you're a very diverse individual. There's so many things that you are good at, and you are skilled in all of them, and that really captured my spirit because I like to also be busy with a lot of different things because I feel like it's a part of my personal and professional development. So when I saw you, I was like, wow, I have to meet this individual. And thankfully, you allowed me to visit your dojo because I was going to be in the States, close to you. And I just want to thank you for that warm welcome that you gave me, the classes that you gave, the time that we could spend together. And it's obvious and it's clear that you are a very authentic and a very strong leader. And I wanted to ask you, seeing as you are 26 and you've been in the martial arts for 47 years, how did that leadership journey start?
Oh my gosh. A lot of people don't give credit to some of the people that have made them leaders, right? And what I mean by that is I have to give credit to the people that hurt me, the people that did wrong by me. Because if it wasn't for them, I would not know what I didn't like or how to treat people correctly. I may have fallen into the trap of not caring enough, not loving enough. And I give credit to everyone who ever put me down, everybody who ever said I couldn't do, because they inspired me to be more, to look for more, to go on a journey of self-discovery. Juanita, every day I'm still on that journey of self-discovery. Every morning I am up before the roosters sing their song.
Yeah. And I noticed that, and I believe that because I saw you are high energy, and also you have these videos that you do every single day. I believe you've done 21 of them already, and you are going to go through, with that process where you do these. I think it was obliques, where you took the bow or the staff and you did. Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that later. Because my time is different from your time, but every time I see one of those videos, the energy level is high. And, you get as many reps in as you possibly can. So, I mean, that speaks of someone that is dedicated. Every morning you are there. You are helping us as the audience to shape our bodies and our minds and our spirits as well. So I agree with you. I actually did a live when I was sitting at the one airport here in South Africa in Johannesburg. I was sitting at the airport, and before I got on the flight in New York at Newark, there was a board that said, turning trash into fuel, the sci-fi without the fi. And I thought about this on the plane because it was a 14-hour flight. And I thought to myself, what if I take the trash that people have put on me sometimes, the things that they say, the actions towards me, the negative comments. What if I take that trash and I make it fuel to spur me on and to help me to excel even more and to do even better. And when you were doing your introduction, I was like, wow, we think along the same lines. So
Yes.
from Sifu and I, thank you to everybody who were mean to us, because you just made us stronger, and we love you. We love you. And
Mm.
we are always accepting, of course, of all people. I spoke earlier about love and acceptance. So building up people, that's your forte. I was looking at the children in your dojo, and I saw how you uniquely worked with each individual on their level. Tell us more about how martial arts gave you that skill.
Well, one of the things that martial arts has done for me is it's taught me that everyone is an individual, without a doubt. It's
Yeah,
taught me that not everyone learns at the
beautiful.
same level either, because a lot of people make the mistakes
Mm,
of, you should know this, you got this, but maybe they don't.
yeah,
Maybe that's why I teach with three modalities in mind. Sometimes people can see it and they get it. Sometimes they have to
yeah,
hear it, or sometimes they
yeah.
have to feel it.
Yes.
So if you notice, when
Mm,
I was working with the kids and including the adults,
yeah,
I had to
yeah,
go over there and teach in all three modalities. Let me show you what it looks like. This is what the moves look
mm,
like. And then I would
yeah.
say it. And then I would ask, do you understand? And then the other one
Mm,
is, sometimes they would say yes, and I would say, okay, show me. And they wouldn't do it.
yeah,
So then I would take their arms and physically help them go through the
yeah.
motion, and
Yes.
then something would trigger and they had to go, oh,
Ah,
now I got it. So
yeah.
martial arts has taught me the fact that all of us are unique,
Mm,
every one of us.
yes.
You took
Beautiful.
some classes with me, and I appreciated the fact that you left everything at the door, and you are a
Yeah.
true martial artist, because so many people carry all the baggage with them and they can't learn a new thing because they're like,
Mm,
well, I've done it like this there. I've done it like this there. No, when you're in front of
yeah.
anyone, you should leave all the baggage down, put
Yeah.
everything down, have a clean
Yeah.
slate, and
Mm,
you will be able to learn from anyone.
mm,
But you need to
wow.
be able to do that. And martial
Mm.
arts has taught me that, and I love learning.
Oh yes. Oh yes. And that I picked that up. And there's a few things that came to light now. And I just want to say thank you for that compliment coming from you. That means a lot to me. I
Mm.
really look up to you because I know that you are so, so awesome at heart, and you just love what you do. And everything that you do is for other people. And that's what's so edifying to me, to see how everyone grows with you, and how
Mm.
you're out there every single day bringing impact and edifying. And when you spoke about people that sometimes they have to hear it, see it, and then practice it, and then you see that moment, I call that a penny drop moment. So I
Yeah.
always say to the young ones, when that penny drops, just keep on practicing, because one of these days you're still going to go through your moves and that penny will drop and you'll be like, oh, and just to see that on their faces, that emotion when they realize, oh, that's what they mean. That means the world to me, to experience that with them. And there's
Mm.
something that you said when we were together in your dojo. You said, I'm a white belt. And I
Mm.
love that, because, you've been doing this for 47 years. I'm 42 years old. You've been doing this longer than I've been on this earth. And still you said, well, Juanita, I'm still a white belt. And I thought, wow. And that mentality goes through to your students, and that's why they excel. So how do you, what is your first lesson that you teach when you see a youngster in the dojo? What's the first principle you bring up into their spirit?
I think first, the first thing that we always let them know is gratitude, right?
Mm,
So
love that.
when they first come in, whether it's a 4-year-old, or earlier today, I had somebody who was 38 years old who for the first time came in. So, and the oldest person I've ever taught was 102, and there was a few of them. But
My
the beauty,
goodness.
yeah, I know, right? The beauty of having somebody in front of you and they're willing to learn from you, or even
Yeah,
inquire if you are the right person. Because I
yeah,
used to take everybody as a student, but I don't do that anymore. I'm very
Yes.
selective now. And the reason is because I
Yeah.
realize that my students who are in front of me
Mm.
are truly family. And when you see
Yes.
them as family, you protect your family. So you don't want to
Yes.
bring a bad orange into a bunch of
Mm.
other, or let's call it apples, right? You don't want
Yeah.
to bring a bad apple to mix in with any of your other fruit, right? Because you can't just have an apple. You have to have an orange. You have to have a banana. And that's where variety comes in. Sometimes grapes, a cantaloupe. So all my students, they're all so different. I don't have a bunch
Yeah.
of apples. All my students come from all walks of life. So
Oh,
one of
I
the
love
first things I teach them is gratitude. I walked them
it.
through and I said, let me tell you a little bit about me so they get to know
Mm.
me. I'm not there to brag. I just want them to know
Yeah.
where they're stepping. Then I walk them in and I show them the ancestors. These are ancestors. I could not
Yeah.
teach you anything without them. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
the other thing that they first learn is to bow, right? As a
Mm.
student in my place, we pay respects. And I let them know
Yeah.
it's not a religious aspect, it's more
No.
of gratitude. So there's
Mm.
three bows that the little kids do and two for the adults.
Yeah.
I think I should change it to three for the adults, right? But here's the ones that I do for the adults, right? I do, and it's a promise. I'm a
Mm.
future black belt, right?
Yes.
And I have that. I don't care if you're a 10th degree black belt in a different style. You're coming into
Yeah.
my style, which is probably different than yours. So you still
Yes.
have to say, I want to be a black belt in this style. And then
Yeah.
we do three words. The next bow is for three words that are going to make an impression on your life no matter where you go. And number one
Yeah.
is respect. Number two
Yes.
is courtesy. And number three
Mm.
is honor.
Ah,
And those are the
beautiful.
most important bows that we do. And then the
Yeah.
third one that I do for little kids and young adults is they have to look at the person that brought them and they have to
Mm.
say thank you
Wow. Wow.
because I'm
That's
showing
amazing.
them gratitude. Because I
Mm.
say to them, did they drive you here? Yes. Are they staying here? Yes. Because we're not childcare. Anybody who comes into
Yeah.
our facility, the parents know. If they think, oh, can I drop my kids off? Nope, we're not the
No.
right place for you. If you want to drop them off, there's other
Yeah.
schools you can do that, but not with us because I want you to see the lessons they're doing. Because also, I'm going to make you get on the floor and try some of the lessons with them. So
Mm.
when they go home, they know
Yeah.
what they need to practice, and you're going to be their partner. So for
Wow.
me, that's huge.
I love that strategy because really, with martial arts, the training continues at home. You
Hmm.
have to go home and do your homework, and we do the Japanese terms of all the stances and everything. You have to go home and practice because the next time you come back to the dojo, you must have that tactic or that technique in your mind. It must roll over, into everything that you do. And I love the fact that you focus on gratitude because that's one of my big hashtags at Meticulous Moments: leadership and gratitude.
Yeah.
And those are two things that martial arts has brought into my life. It has honed my leadership skills because it helped me to discipline myself. I discovered so many things about myself that I didn't like, that I had to change. And everything, iron sharpened iron, and the gratitude that comes in to say thank you for the opportunity to learn this art, for the opportunity to become more than what we were and to
Oh, yeah.
continuously grow. I love that about the martial arts. Every day is an adventure.
That's without a doubt. That's without a doubt. One of the things that you asked me earlier, you made a comment that every day I'm on day 21, but I've always worked out my whole life. When I
Yeah.
go away, I work out. But
Wow.
last year, 2022, I said, I'm going to inspire more people. And every
Yeah.
day for 365 days of 2022, I
Yeah.
posted a video. I said, I'm
Wow.
going to make it easy for people to get started. And I did
Yeah.
it on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook and
That's
Instagram. And I
phenomenal.
said, on January 1st of 2022, I'm going to post a video, 3 minutes. And it's
Yeah.
going to go 1 minute extra every day until we get to Friday, which is 9 minutes. And then it starts
Wow.
again Saturday, 3 minutes, And it was Saturday,
Yeah.
3 minutes, Sunday, 4, Monday,
Yeah.
5, and all the way to Friday. And then the
Yeah.
week started again on Saturday. And I did that for 365 days last year. This year, I'm doing it again, but I said it's 2023, so 2 and 3 equals 5. I'm going to do 5 minutes every day for the whole year. So if you look at any of my videos, they are how long? 5
5 minutes.
minutes. But here's the thing. A lot of people, and you'll see on YouTube or on all these different things, they'll say, do this for a minute, and they'll do 3 of them, and then do this for
Yeah.
another for a minute, and
Yeah.
their videos, 30 seconds. My videos are actually 5 minutes where I'm doing whatever I say I'm going to do for 5 consecutive minutes without a break. Why do I do
Yeah.
that? Because if I want somebody to do it, I have to be
Yes.
the example they follow. I can tell
Yes.
you do it, but that's also like telling somebody, do it, and then you just stand there and not do it. I do it
Exactly.
because I want you to follow me. And sometimes,
Yeah.
listen, doing something for consecutive for 5 minutes, man, you
It's
feel it.
not easy.
It's like, oh, and I go, oh my God, I felt that. Did you feel it? So that's also cool. So I know that you have it coming across the screen at the bottom. I have it
Yeah.
on Coaching Call, but also if you follow me on Sifu Raphael
Yes.
or Fitness by Raphael, either on Instagram, any of those,
Yeah.
you will find me there. I am on
Wow.
all social media. The only one I'm
Yeah.
having trouble with is TikTok. I don't know why. Maybe I'll get on.
Oh.
I am
Oh,
on
I'll
there,
help
but
you with that.
I haven't really been on as much.
I can help you with that. Absolutely,
You're
absolutely.
the
I
best.
also took a while to figure that out.
I appreciate
What
that. I
I
appreciate
noticed about your 5 minutes was your pace stays the same. You do the same amount on the one side as you do the other side. It doesn't look, Sifu, like you get tired at all. So, I mean, that is years and years of exercising. How many years have you consistently, focused on your fitness? Has it been all the years in the martial arts, or have you kicked it up a notch? How has that been?
Well, you told me your age before, and I got to be honest with you. I don't look bad for 99, right?
What?
I'm
Are you
just kidding.
messing with me?
I'm just kidding. Since, let me give you a little background on me and why
Yeah.
fitness is priority in my life.
Mm.
I lost the ability to walk when I was about
Oh.
3 years old. I got polio. My feet, if
Oh.
these are my feet, they turn backwards. My
Oh
legs
no.
turned backwards. I was in a bad position.
Yeah.
And they took me to the hospital. They put my feet back forward, but I had
Yeah.
to wear braces like Forrest Gump,
Oh yes, yes.
and I could not walk for probably about 2 years. So and if I walked 10 feet, it probably would have taken me an hour. That's how slow
My.
I can walk. So
Yeah.
for me to not have the ability to move like I used to has driven me to constantly be in motion. My mind kept going, but my body wouldn't do it. So one of the things, that's why I constantly work legs. Always. I'm doing
Beautiful.
either lunges, horse stance, wall squats,
Yeah.
anything that has to do with running, movement. So for me, movement is an integral part of my
Yeah.
life. I
Yeah.
move every single day, no matter what.
That's amazing. And hearing that background, hearing that story of your life, now other things are falling into place, even in better perspective.
Right.
Because now I see the giving of the heart of helping people to be healthy. I see the gratitude that's coming out. I see your passion for what you do. And that's really, it's a passion. It's not just a job. You have a passion for people and a passion for martial arts. So have you always done Kung Fu, or have you gone from one martial arts to the other?
Well, You know, I was fortunate. I started with private lessons,
Oh,
and but here's the crazy thing. As a kid, my parents never paid for my martial arts training.
yeah.
You want to know who paid for it?
I would love to know.
You're looking at them. I'm going to tell you why. Because at the age of 10, my friend was leaving. He was going somewhere. And I said, "Where are you going?" He goes, "Oh, I got to go." I said, "Can I come?" He goes, "Okay." So I went with him, and it wound up that his father was a master, and he was going to go and train with his dad. So that's what wound up happening. But I only did it for 6 months with his dad. At the age of 10, I also got a job cleaning a bingo
Wow.
hall. Cleaning a bingo hall. And
Yeah,
I don't know how, I was a tall kid. They thought I was of
yeah.
age, but I was 10 years old. I got paid $100 a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've
And
always been an entrepreneur.
always, how can I make some money? So
I love it.
how can I make some money? So
I'm
for
10, you know?
me, right? So for me, making money was one of the things that always intrigued me, right? Because
Yeah.
I was the kind of guy that I did not want to ask anybody for anything,
Mm,
including my dad. So
mm,
what did I do? I said, I actually, here's the thing. My friend's brother was the one who worked at the bingo hall. And one day the bingo hall was this huge building. It wasn't this little place. It was huge, and it
yeah.
had 2 floors, the whole deal. And we used to, at the back of the bingo hall was our block, and it was this huge wall, and it had these doors that when the bingo, all these people came out, and my friend's brother worked in it. So I said, "Hey, do they need extra help?" Because I knew he's working. I'm like, "Oh, he used to always buy sandwiches." I want to buy a sandwich too. And
I love
so
that.
I wanted what he wanted. And he
Yeah.
said, "Let me find out." And he said, "Yeah, actually, the guy that I used to work with quit. So they need somebody. You can do one side of the bingo hall, and I'll do the other side." And to clean my side took 2 hours. That's how many tables and garbage cans.
Wow.
And then we used to clean either the women's bathrooms, or we used to have to mop the whole place. It took
Yeah.
just the bottom floor took 2 hours for me, 2 hours for him. Then we went to the second floor and another hour of cleaning the bathrooms, the
Yeah.
lobby area, everything. And so about 3.5 hours, several
Yeah.
times a week. And then when I stopped training with that guy, I found a kung fu instructor in the basement of a church, and he used to charge $5 a week to train
Oh,
twice a week for 3 hours. And I was like,
wow.
sign me up. That's where I'm going. So
You just knew.
that's yeah, and that's I've always paid for my own training. My parents, I'm going to be honest with you,
Yeah.
didn't even know
Yes.
that I trained. They didn't know. Because back in the old days, it was safe for the kids to go out. This was how it used to be. You go out,
Yeah.
and when it was dinner time, you hear people calling down the block. "Hey, your mother's calling. Hey, I hear your mom calling. It's dinner time." And all the kids will go back home, eat their dinner, and
Yeah.
then come back out, and we'd all get back together. That's the kind
Yeah.
of neighborhood I lived in, and it was great.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful. I remember when I was young, and I can't do that with my children because it's too dangerous. The
correct.
rule was I had my bicycle, I could be at the sports field, I could be with a friend, I just had to be home when it was dark. And I
Right.
was safe riding my bike home. But our children don't have that privilege. And
No.
I look at you and I hear you speaking, and it's like this wonderful story that unfolds, showing that dedication, that
Yeah.
drive, because you had a passion for something and you decided, well, you are going to make that happen. And I mean, if you didn't do that, your path might have been so different. So much respect for you to go out, as a child already, to have that confidence and that vigor and to say, well, this is what I want to do and I'm going to do it. And I mean, you just continued with that through your years, and look what has become of it. It's amazing to see how you transform lives.
Yeah, yeah. You know, when we think about the gifts that we all have, and that's why I love, whether it's I'm training a personal coaching client, or I'm training somebody in business, or I'm training somebody on how to do anything, because it's the pleasure of seeing that aha moment for somebody. It's the pleasure of them saying, I can do this now. And then giving them the reins to be able to do it on their own. In high school, I'm 6'1". You met me. I'm a tall guy. You could never think I can do flips, right? I used to do flips. And where did I learn to do flips? With my crazy friends. We used to do flips on the street, on concrete.
Oh my goodness.
It was one kid that came around, he did flip like, hey, we want to learn that. And then we did all crazy things. And then when I went to high school, I tried out for the high school gymnastics team, and the coach said, no. I said, what do you mean no?
Why?
He goes, you can't try out. And I said, why not? He goes, you're too tall. I'm like, yeah, but it's tryouts, right? He goes, yeah. I said, so you have to try me out. He got mad at me and he goes, what can you do? In a nasty attitude.
Yeah, like.
And the mats were over to the side, and I was on the wooden floor. I started flipping on the floor, not even on the mats. And he's like, you're on the team, but I want you to flip on the mats instead, not on the floor. You just scared me.
He was like, what?
Because I never flipped on the mats before I joined the team. All I knew how to do was flip on the concrete. So
I guess if you took the other students from the mats to the wood, there would have been a problem because they wouldn't be able to.
Well,
so you showed him a thing or two.
Yeah, it's very different gymnastics now, because I'm seeing all these people doing flips and they have bouncy floors. I wish I would have had bouncy floors. When I was even when I was on the team, the mats were against the concrete or the wooden floor. Yeah. And it was no different than, to me, it was no big deal. But I wish can you imagine me on those flipping floors? That would have been fun.
That would have gone high.
Yeah.
So they have help. I've always wondered how they get that right. It looks very difficult. But now that I hear they have bouncy floors, I guess if you try it long enough, someone would be able to do that. Just for you at your length, and you are very tall. I don't even know how tall I am, but I stood next to you and I was looking up. So just for you with that length of yours to be able to do that is a miracle.
You were looking up at me, but there was someone you met at my place. How tall was he? Do you remember?
6'9". He was a giant.
Yes.
The saber guy.
Yeah, and he was doing the lightsaber fighting, right?
Yes.
It was pretty cool.
Oh, that was so cool. Yeah. That was amazing. I want one. I have to get one, because when they put that light off and that color goes and it makes those noises, phenomenal. I think one can keep each other busy for hours just doing sword fights. They were very good, though.
They were. But the cool thing about their swords were not the ones that you buy at the regular store. Their swords they can fight with. And they were, let's say you go and you buy one of these lightsabers, maybe they cost you $99. The ones they had were $2,000 to $3,000, because they can whack hard and they don't break.
Yeah.
And they change colors too, which is cool.
That's very cool. And thinking of it now, they followed me on Instagram, but I haven't been on that phone yet because I didn't have roaming. I should actually just go and upload that video for them, because I have that video still. So that's a good reminder for me. Looking at the dojo, I walked into your dojo There was a beautiful cubicle where you put your coat, you put your bag, and you walk through these amazing doors. There's a lounge, there's a coffee station of all sorts, office, more rooms, everything in its place. A dojo, weapons, but it feels homely. How did you bring that vibe and that feeling into the dojo? It feels like home. I've never been there, but I didn't feel out of place. I felt relaxed. How did you facilitate that?
Well, for me, it's an experience, right?
Yeah.
When you go somewhere, do you want to go into a smelly box and just train? No, you want to go and feel comfortable. So I do have TVs around. I can put TV. We have music. I have a huge kickboxing room. I have a huge well, I do have 10,000 square feet, so that makes a difference, right?
It's big, guys.
My
It's a big
lobby,
thing.
my lobby is the size of most martial arts schools, right?
Yes.
Because I want my members to have the experience that this is their home. So like I said, I've done interior design architecture. I worked in that field for a very long time.
Beautiful.
And every so often, I still do designs for people. I just did a company that I'm working with. They're creating warehouses with one part is warehouse, the other part is a cafe, another part is offices. And I just drew all their plans for, they're going to have facilities all over the US and eventually they're going to go international. So I did all the 3D drawings for them. And so that you look at it all different ways and different angles. So I'm still doing that. So when I designed my space, I was thinking, if I walked into this space, what do I want to feel like? Do I want that comfort? Do I want, and the reason I have coffee, and it's free to my members, they come in, they get a free coffee, tea, whatever they want. And the reason I do that is because I want them to relax. It's either even before your class or after your class. I have comfy couches that they can sit in after class. And then they can go from there, they can go into either a kickboxing class, a kung fu class, a boxing class. And I also, have a mat area where we do grappling and throwing and all this kind of stuff. So for me, it's not your typical martial arts. It is home. It's your second home. I have a lot of people that come to me and they're there, minimum 3 times a week, but sometimes they're there 5-6 days a week. So when they're there, they're comfortable. But if I want to treat them like family, what do? I treat them like family, right?
You do. You do, and you did that with me as well. I mean, I walked in all the way from South Africa. I was in Jersey. I rushed in the traffic to be in New York, and I was like, and when I walked in, I was just like, I was ready for class. I wasn't stressed. There was no anxiety of all the rushing. That's really the feeling when you walk into your dojo, Sifu, and you facilitated that. And I can see all your gifts and your talents, everything just amalgamating, with the designs, the knowledge that you have about people, the knowledge that you have about the art of Kung Fu, everything is just intertwined and it's bringing just this brilliant, brilliant second home. Because where I am here in South Africa, if I'm not home, I'm in the dojo. So I only have 2 places I am, at my home or at the dojo. So I love that. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, when we think about building somebody up, right? That to me is everything. But if we forget how it was for us when we first learned it, then it's extremely difficult to take someone, because what I believe, if we don't give them the nitty gritty, the little details, then we're taking something away from them. We're taking the experience that they need to go through. A lot of people want to live vicariously through their children or through someone else's experience. But in reality, we shouldn't. Everyone needs to have their own experience. Hey, Juanita, I read a book. I'm
Yes.
going to tell you all about it.
Tell
But
me.
guess what? I didn't read you
Yes.
every page. I gave you a
Uh,
summary. You're not going to
uh-huh.
know how good that book really is
Until
unless
I
you
open.
read it yourself. You need to
Wow.
have the experience of that author
Mm,
in your
yeah.
mind because
Mm,
I'm not the author. I just told you about it,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
It's the same
Wow.
thing when I'm trying to teach you. Listen, I have a wood shop. I forgot to show it to you when you were over. I
Next
built
time.
custom furniture. Everything that you saw in my place, I built. The
Oh,
benches, the
wow.
crown molding, I built that. I do high end custom furniture. I do
Wow.
all woodworking. So
Yeah.
everything was not only detailed, but I knew how I wanted it to look. I did all
Mm,
the artwork in there. You saw the
yeah.
dragon that we took a picture with. Any
Oh,
artwork, I
love
did all
that.
that. Because for me, people say I could never do that. You
Yeah.
don't give yourself enough credit. You see the
Mm.
dragon that you're wearing on your shirt?
This is my special dragon. Yes, I love it.
Isn't that the same dragon that's on my wall? I
Wow.
drew it.
Beautiful.
The shirt
Yeah.
that you're wearing, I drew that.
Yes.
And then,
Wow.
but for me, when people say you can't do that or I can't do that,
Yeah.
you're not giving yourself the credit
Mm.
that
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
hey, you may not be as good as that other person, but
Yeah.
if you believe enough in yourself, you can draw that dragon. You
Yeah.
just have to
Yeah.
have one thing that many people forget or have a hard
Yes.
time with. I'm going to tell you
Mm.
what that is. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Starts with a P, ends with an E.
Yes.
Patience.
E. Patience.
Patience.
Wow.
So
True.
when people say, how did you do that? An artist has a
Yeah.
blank canvas.
Mm.
We all have a blank canvas. How do you
Yeah.
start a drawing? With
It's the first one.
one line,
Yeah.
one line, or the pencil or the pen or the brush has to make contact with what first, right?
It's
If
with
it's
your
a
hand
pencil, it has to
and
touch the
yeah.
product, the paper, the wall, wherever. And
Yeah.
then if it's a brush, you need to dip it in the paint. Without that first
Totally.
step, you will have
Yeah.
done nothing. That is your first
Mm.
step. And guess
Yeah.
what?
Yes.
My children taught me this. I have one
Yes.
son who is an amazing artist. He just picked it
Wow.
up really quick and he does a beautiful, he can draw you perfectly. Boom. And he's amazing. He can do it in pencil, he can do it in whatever. My other
Wow.
son didn't have confidence. And that's the other thing
Oh.
that we need to teach people, confidence.
Yeah.
He didn't have
Yeah.
the confidence in himself. And
Mm.
before he picked up the pencil, he looked
Yeah.
at his brother's artwork and he goes, I can't do that. So he immediately took his confidence and threw it
Yeah.
away
Mm.
because
Mm.
he did not believe in himself. So
Yeah.
I said, of course you can do that. So he drew like a circle and he drew something and he drew the circle wrong. When I say
Yeah.
wrong, in his
Yes.
eyes, it was wrong, but it was a
Yes.
circle. It wasn't a perfect circle because nobody can
Yeah.
draw a perfect circle. I've never met a
Exactly.
person that can draw a perfect circle. Not even a
Exactly.
computer can draw a perfect circle because guess
Yeah.
what? Everything is a straight line, right? So
Exactly. I love
thinking
that.
about his confidence, he knocked it out of the ballpark before he gave it a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
I kept at him.
Wow.
I kept at him.
Yeah.
He's not the best. He's not as good as my other son, but he can now
Yes.
draw. And every so often he'll say, hey, Dad, check this out. I drew this. And actually, it's
Wow.
pretty good. But
Wow.
to say I can't do it, you're
Yeah.
defeating yourself.
Yes. Yes. Wonderful life principle right there.
Hmm.
And we love to, Sifu and I love to take martial arts principles and apply it in other areas in our lives. And here we hear now that patience, that belief in yourself, that courage to start in the first place. And
Hmm.
I believe that it ciphers from the top through to the students. And Sifu, because of your patience, I've seen how you work with them, your patience, your persistence as well, working with them on their own level. That is really the key to making them feel comfortable to explore martial arts, because we
Mm.
can all do the same move, but at the end of the day, we are going to translate it into our move. It's going to be a horse stance, or in my style, it would be called a sequa Dutch, but it's not going to look exactly the same for every person,
Right.
except we learn the moves, of course, we do that, but we make that martial arts our own. So I love the fact that you gave him that gift of being able to see that his own artistic abilities are good enough because it's his. He can't
Yeah.
try and copy his brother. So that's wonderful. You set him up for success, and that's what you do at your dojo as well. You help your students to excel.
Right. Right. But think about, what if somebody would have told Picasso his
Yeah,
drawings, and plenty of people don't like his drawings, right?
yeah,
But if he would have believed them,
mm,
nobody would be able to enjoy his art.
yes,
Or
true.
Leonardo da Vinci,
Yeah,
right? These are some amazing people. Or even Raphael, the painter, right?
yes,
So
yes, I love it.
when we think about the whispers that we have to do into somebody's ear when they have doubt. This is why a lot of my coaching clients, forget martial arts for a second, because I also help
Yeah,
people get out of their
coaching.
own way. It's that mental block that we put on,
Mm,
and we need someone in our corner. This is why I believe
yeah,
in coaching so much. We
yeah,
need somebody in our corner
yeah.
to be whispering,
Mm,
maybe
yeah.
sometimes yelling
Mm-hmm.
at us to get
Yeah,
out of our own way. Stop saying
yeah.
negative things like I
Yes.
can't, right?
Mm,
Can't is a
mm,
four-letter word, and we know we should not use four-letter words, right?
yeah.
Unless they're going to be positive, like love, right?
Yes.
So, what four-letter words are you using that put you down?
Mm,
Or what
mm,
four-letter words are you using that build you up? Like,
yeah. Wow.
you know, for me, I'm not much of a person who curses. Do you know why?
Mm, yes.
Do you?
Tell me.
Ah, because I believe that language is beautiful. And I may
Always.
not say the words correctly, but there are words that can express the way we feel much
Yeah.
better than curse
Mm,
words, right?
mm,
Even the word curse is not a four-letter word,
yes. Well,
right?
that's I never thought about it that way. That's true.
So it's the words that we say. Here's the biggest one: the words we say to
Yeah.
ourselves.
Mm,
Those are the ones
yeah.
that can either
Yeah.
harm us or
Oh
elevate
yes.
us. So when I
Oh
work
yes.
with some clients, I've worked with people constantly are asking me business advice. How
Yeah.
do I set up my store? How do I set up my shop? How do I set
Yeah.
up, because I've helped people even set up their wood shops, because it has to make sense. When I do my wood shop, if I cut something here, do I have
Mm,
to go all the way over there to put it down on something, or do I have to cut it here, and then the next process goes here? So there has to be a synchronicity
train of
to
thought. Yeah.
everything, of how everything goes into place, right? So if
Yeah.
you take even woodworking, if I'm
Yeah.
going to cut a piece of wood
Yes.
and I'm going to make that wood into a cabinet or a
Mm-hmm.
drawer or a table or a
Yeah.
chair or a bed, whatever it is, I
Yeah.
don't just cut the wood without knowing what's intention is.
Mm,
What is the wood's intention? Where is this wood going to live? So that
yes.
wood is going to tell me even how to cut it, right? So you
Wow.
have to know the dynamics of what you're doing. If I'm going
Yes.
to show somebody the process of getting a better job, what is the
Mm,
intention? Why do you want to get a better job? What's wrong
mm.
with the job you have
It's the
now?
purpose.
The other thing
Yeah.
is, if you're not happy at your job, is it
Yeah.
because you're not happy with what you're doing? Or is it because you're not happy of the job you have? Or
Yeah.
is it because the people you work with? But is it them or is it you?
Mm,
Because maybe
interesting.
you're frustrated with yourself.
Uh-huh.
So when I'm
Yeah.
teaching people how to do better at their job, no matter what job they can be an accountant, they could be even lawyers.
Yeah.
The people they surround themselves with has to resonate with their end goal. What is the
Yes.
end goal when you're, by the way, Juanita, I didn't tell you, but in case I forgot,
Yes.
I'm reminding you now, I want you to be at my 100th birthday party, right? Because at my 100th birthday party is when my life is going to start for real. That's when I take
I
on a
need to
new
that.
venture. That's where I'm going to take on a new business opportunity. That's where
Yes.
everything that I'm doing today is so that I can start my journey then.
Wow.
Because if
Wow.
I don't believe that I'm going to
Mm.
get there, then
Yeah.
what am I doing now? Are my days
Exactly.
numbered? No. I have to live with the possibility that life is what we make of it. So
I
everything that
believe.
I'm doing today, my
Yeah.
actions today will lead my tomorrows. But I can't
I love
live,
that.
there's only one place I can live in.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
The present. I can't live
Yes.
in yesterday and I can't live in tomorrow because yesterday is already gone and tomorrow is
Yeah.
not here yet.
It's
And a
only
lot
a
of
promise. Yeah.
they set goals, don't they?
They do.
And they should,
Yeah.
but they forget that when they're
Mm.
striving to go for this goal, whether it's to
Yeah.
open a new business, to buy a house, to buy a car, to go on a trip, they forget
Yeah.
to live in the moment until that
Mm.
time comes. You got to celebrate every minute of your life because, listen, I told you I
Amen to
invited
that.
you to my 100th birthday, and God willing, I'll
Yeah.
make it, right?
Of course.
God willing, I'll make it. But
Yeah.
if I don't, was I
Mm.
only thinking about that 100th birthday party, which is going to be a great one,
Yeah.
by the way, right? But if
Absolutely.
I'm living for that time alone,
Yeah.
I'm not living for the time that's in front of me. So that's what
I
also
love
I
that.
teach people how to live their lives now.
I
Plan for
love that.
tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Always.
Mm.
Always. You were discussing, the wood, and the wood is going to tell you what it's going to be about and how it should be cut, and the process of making it easier to work with the wood to get the best result. And I was thinking, walking into your dojo, I can now see meticulously how you planned every single area, how you plan your life, how you structure, you live in the moment. I saw in the classes, each class you did with precision, each class had a format. And I love that about you because you take every single thing you can out of every day. Like you've said now, you live in the now. It's good to have goals. It's good to have plans. For me, future is a promise. And like you said, the past is over. What can we do? But today, what did we do
Mm.
today? And I love how you are so enthusiastic about life. Every single detail is important to you. And
Mm.
you help other people to see that. And that is a gift because some people just rush through their day. They don't even remember what they did through the day, and there they go. And putting things in place like that 5-minute workout in the morning already sets their mindset into, I've done this now. They feel that sense of accomplishment, and now they are ready mentally and in their body, feeling a bit more relaxed. And there they go. And you facilitate all that by getting up every day and doing a 5-minute workout. How important and how immaculate is that? I love it.
But I actually, that's my second workout, because I 5 minutes is not enough for me. So
I love that.
the 5 minute workout that I do is just to inspire somebody. But
Beautiful.
I am usually at the gym. I leave my house anywhere between 4:30 and 4:45 a.m.
My goodness.
And, I get to the gym. I work out for about an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. Then I go to my facility. I go to a different gym. So even though I don't have to, because you saw I have weightlifting equipment in my place and everything.
Yeah, everything there, I mean.
But I want to be able to go and have a different place outside of my own facility. So I drive to my facility, and then I do a 5-minute workout that I post.
For that.
And then if there's anything else that I need to, anything else I need to do in my facility before I leave, I'll do that. Then I'll go home. And so somebody said to me, "Oh my gosh, you have a whole life before most people wake up." I said, "Yes, I do. Yes, I do. It's not a secret life. You're more than welcome to join me. But how many people are willing to join me?" Now, the thing is,
I hear you.
I wish, and I know it's not the best thing, but I wish I can only sleep an hour a day. I know that's not real. So I sleep according to my internal clock. My body tells me when to get up. Now, this morning, I was up, I think, 25 minutes before. I don't even know why I set alarms. I don't know why. But I was up 25 minutes before. So my own body tells me, okay, wake up. So I sat in my bed. Actually, I didn't say it. I laid down. I was like, oh. I looked at my clock next to me. I'm like, oh, I got 25 minutes before I'm going to get up. I said, let me reflect. Let me go through my gratitude. Every morning before, I usually, when I wake up, I go through my gratitudes. What am I grateful for? I go through my family, my clients, my members. So for me, I have two different people that I deal with. My clients is one, and my members are others. And then family is the third, right? So outside of my family, I have clients and I have members, right?
Yeah.
And so they're different to me, right? Because my clients are the ones that pay me really well. And my members are the ones that pay me, but they pay me way more than the people that pay me with their financial. Because my members are part of that inner circle to me.
Yeah.
So those are different people. And it's not that I want to treat them differently. It's their actions that make me treat them differently. Because if they don't invest the time that I put into them, then how can I compare them to someone else who says, if I say do this and they do it and they go above and beyond and do it, I'm going to put more time into them. That's a member to me, right? Of course. That's my inner circle. Yeah. If you could pay me thousands of dollars and I give you this much and you only do this much, then that's all I can give. Now, exactly. If I give you this much and you give me this much, next time I'm going to give you higher. And I always look to give you more than you're willing to receive. But you have to make the decision into what circle you want to be with me. Yeah. Because it's not my choice, it's your choice.
And that's wonderful. You put the ball in their hands.
Oh yeah.
And then you are, gracious enough to walk with their speed. And through your example, they see. I mean, I could feel the level and the caliber of the teachings that you were giving. you ignite their spirit to want to learn more. Because I looked at all the different belts and I saw little children and they were just amazing. I was looking at the karas that they were doing, the forms that
Right.
they were doing, and I was like, wow, look at this guy. They're young and they are so skilled. And that's because they follow your example. So you encourage them through your lifestyle and who you are as a person
Mm.
to be something more than they are and to want to be more than that as well. So I really, the culture that you formed there and the family is just amazing. That everybody needs to know that love that is spread in your dojo. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. One of the things, and I appreciate you. You know, when you came to visit me, I was like, "Are you sure you want to come?" I think your drive was like 3 hours or something, and I'm like, "Are you sure?" And you're like, "Absolutely." I'm like, "Wow!" And you took an Uber to come see me, and in New York, they're not cheap. So I value your time so much that you took your time, your money to come and spend time with me. So how can I not return it back to you? And that's why I said, let's have a meal, right? Let's sit down after the classes. Let's sit down. What kind of food do you want? Let's do this and let's get to know each other even a little bit
Certainly.
more. And by the way, this is the second recording because we recorded it and we thought we recorded and we had a glitch. But you're so gracious, and we laughed about it, and we didn't get
Yes.
mad because it was, and I called it dress rehearsal, right? It's like the curtain
Yes, I
came down.
love
I'm like,
it.
oh, now we're gonna have to do it again. And I am so grateful for you and the time that you took to come spend time with me and meet my my family, if you will, right?
Wow.
Because these
I
you met my
appreciate.
members. You met my
Yes.
members. These are the
Yeah.
people that put the effort in.
Yeah. I love that. I love that, and I thank you. I mean, that was my highlight, absolutely, of my stay in the States, and it changed my life because I drew so much knowledge and experience from you. I was looking and soaking so many things in, and to
Mm.
sit there with you, having met you online, to actually sit there with you and have that lovely, lovely feast of sushi. Do a live interview. I mean, we were having community together. We were
Mhm.
becoming family right there, and that's why we forgot to press the record button. But who cares? It was a lovely dress rehearsal, as you said. So I thank you from my side as well.
Yeah. But you know what? You were such an amazing individual. You are, not were. You are such an amazing individual because no matter what classes I was teaching, I said, "Do you want to be in it?" You're like, "Absolutely." And you jumped in and you went 1,000%, and you didn't go 100%. You were all in. And whatever direction I gave you, you just went with it, and you did well. You did good with this. You did a whole staff form, right? And you
That
never
was
picked up
fun.
a. You never did that. You're like, what is this? It's different than a bow staff, right?
Yeah,
It's a Chinese weapon, right? And
yeah.
everything, when I showed you stuff, you were like, "Oh, this is cool," and you went for it and you did it. So, kudos to you for walking into an environment that you knew nothing about in a way, right? You have martial
Yeah,
arts, but it's the
yeah.
different martial arts, right?
Different.
And
Yeah.
that's the beauty of a real martial artist, to be
Wow.
open and to be open to accept any guidance that's given.
Wow.
You and
I
we're
appreciate it.
kindred spirits because I'm the same way. So thank you.
That's amazing. I feel the universe brought us together. I feel
Absolutely.
we are being blessed, and hearing that from you, it touches my heart on a very deep level because I really respect you. And I mean, walking in there, how could I not be excited to do everything with you? So thank you so much for that experience. And I'm just so blessed to know you and to call you family and to be able to do this with you. That really, it really uplifts my spirit and makes me just happy. I'm always excited. I'm like a little kid about certain things, and martial arts is one of them. When I learn something new, I'm like, Show me.
Right,
So
right.
I love that. Yeah. I wanted
Yeah.
to ask you, Sifu, you have four shows. I want to put focus on your shows. You have four shows, and you have other services that you coach as well as a martial artist. You do the woodwork. Would you like to tell the audience about your shows? What that's about, when they air and when they stream, and also the other projects that you are busy with, because we want to highlight you
Will
and we
do.
want the
Thank you.
audience to contact you.
Absolutely. So one of the things is, and I know that, and I appreciate you putting up, how people can contact me right there. It's
Yeah.
coachingcallpc@gmail.com. I appreciate you doing that. You can follow some of the shows at Coaching Call on YouTube, right? And if you ever want to have a conversation with me, it's right there. sifucal.com/Sifu Raphael/15 minutes. Thank you for
Love it.
doing that. I really appreciate you letting me even be on your show. I am super honored. But the
Thank
reason
you,
I have
Sif.
four shows, do you
Yeah.
want to know what happened? What inspired me?
I would love to know.
I'd love to tell you. The main reason is because
Yeah.
when the pandemic hit,
Yeah.
I was already prepared because I was going to start live streaming before the pandemic hit with my students.
Yeah.
And I still do live streaming with my students. I actually had four black belts on the stream while I had
Wow.
in-person class. So one of the things that inspired me was when the pandemic hit, we were told to close on a Monday. I emailed all my students and I said, guys, we have to close. We have no choice. But take tomorrow off, but be
Yeah.
ready because I'm going to have 7 classes Monday through Friday, every
Yeah.
day, live on Zoom. This is before
Wow.
StreamYard came around, right? Live on Zoom, so
Yeah.
that you guys cannot lose anything. And so I became very creative with Zoom because I understand that people started going on Zoom. They didn't know how to do it, how to mirror. So in order for me to teach somebody on Zoom, obviously I've always known how to mirror teach. So on Zoom, I
Yes.
was mirror teaching in order for them to understand if this is my left hand, for them
Yeah.
it would be their right hand, right? So
Yes.
I had to do all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
And then I would also have challenges. I would say for the
Mm.
little kids, okay, here's a challenge. Whoever wins this challenge does this. I would say, okay, go get a crayon. And they're like, I said, but it has to be red. And then they would run around the house looking, and then, okay, good. Now go get an umbrella. An umbrella. Yeah, go get an umbrella. They would run and get an umbrella. And then, so I was entertaining the kids, but the parents had to go to work through Zoom. So what ended up
Mm.
happening? I said, I want to incorporate fun for the parents. So I said, hey, mom, dads, and my adult students too. I said, every Saturday night, we're going to have a Zoom cocktail party. You
Oh.
guys just grab a cocktail. And if you don't drink, that's fine too. Some wine, a glass of water, whatever is your
Yeah.
favorite. Grab
Yeah.
it. We're all gonna get together. We're gonna tell jokes. No martial arts involved. Just get together and just tell us about your day, what's happened, so forth. And I did
Wow.
that every Saturday night. So with my black belts on Saturday morning, I had coffee with Sifu. And so what we did there, I
Wow.
said, guys, you don't have to be in a uniform. This is just for my black
Mm-hmm.
belts. I said, we're
Yes.
going to just get together and just talk about martial arts, fitness, anything like that. Ask me any questions. I'll guide you through different things. And we started
Yeah.
doing that. And the first time it was only supposed to be an hour. The second time it was an hour and a half. They're like, do we have to go? I'm like, no, we can stay for a little longer. And it kept going like that. And every time, so I started showing them different kung fu movies, and you guys know this move from that movie, da, 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 da. And they're like, "Oh
Yeah.
wow, this is so cool!" And then I started showing them how their body worked. So I
Yeah.
broke down the body, all the muscles, and then from then I said, "Would you guys think that somebody else who's not our member would like to know this?" They're like, "Yes." I
Yeah.
said, "Great." I said, "We should do a podcast." They're like, "Yeah." And so I was going to do a martial arts podcast. But the more I looked into it, the more I listened to podcasts by other martial artists, I
Yeah.
said, I love it. And there's some really good ones out there. Everybody should go listen to a martial arts podcast. But I
Yeah.
realized that martial arts, as much as I love it, it's
Yeah.
tiny. It's tiny.
Oh, yeah.
So then I said, I've taught gymnastics. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, when I was in high school, I went to a different high school to teach gymnastics on the weekend.
Oh,
And then
teaching the classes?
I used to be an instructor at a different high school on the weekends for kids. And then
Wow.
I used to go in zero period before school started. And I used to
Yeah.
go teach swimming to kids who didn't know how to swim in high school. So I taught
Always giving of
gymnastics, I taught
yourself.
swimming. I've always taught. I've always helped other
Yeah.
people. So I said, coaching. I've done coaching in gymnastics. I've done swimming. I've helped
Yeah.
people with different things, with woodworking. I've taught people how to even do things safely and all this stuff. I said, I
Yeah.
think I need to talk to coaches. So that's where coaching calls started. I did my due diligence. I got the
Yeah.
idea in March. I didn't do my first podcast till December, 9 months before I did it. I went, I bought all the equipment, I did all the things, I did all my research. And then I started reaching out to different people. And from there, I said, I have all these coaches that I've interviewed. I want to start another show called Heroes Rising.
Oh,
Heroes
I love
Rising is
it.
where I bring two different coaches on,
Yeah.
and we do it twice a month. And I got a co-host, and he and I did it twice a month, and we brought different business concepts, whether I had doctors, authors, all these different things.
Yeah.
And then I said, there was a young lady in Australia that she was so intelligent. I said, I like her energy. So I had her on again. And then she's
Yeah.
like, hey, we should do this more often. I'm like, okay, let's do 2 more shows together. And then she goes, is it okay if we do 3 together? I'm like, okay. So we did 3 shows consecutive, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to
Wow.
help people. So we did it like back to back, right? And then I said,
Yeah.
okay, that's done. It's over. I said, you and I,
Yeah.
we have good chemistry together. We need to do
Yeah.
a show once a week. So then I came up with a name called The Seer Show, where we seek the truth.
Oh.
So that
Oh.
one is
I love that.
Tuesdays, 4:30
Yeah.
a.m. Eastern time. So
Yeah.
I'm up around 3:30 anyway. 3:30
Yeah.
on that Tuesday, I'm up. So we do a show at 4:30 a.m. And then if that's not enough, I said, I need another show where I've gotten so many tips from so many people. Let me
Yeah.
do one called New Tip Daily. So on Monday through Thursday, it's me. And then on Friday, I bring a different coach to give a tip. So some coaches like yourself, you're not up at that time, right? It's different time zones. So we record it and then I bring them on. So I do it that
Love
way.
it. Love
So
it.
that's how I got to 4 shows. And I've been getting pitched to do other shows. So
I
who
can
knows? I might have 10
imagine.
shows by the end of the year. Who knows?
Well, I have to tell you something that my teachers told me, and it's making me think of you. I was my biology teacher was my hockey teacher as well. He was my coach. And he came to me one day and he said, Juanita, I see you are busy doing public speaking here. You are doing athletics here. You are in the science team. You do well in the academics. You do well in the sport. He said, and I just want to say something. And I thought he was going to say, jack of all trades, master of none. And he didn't say that. He said the opposite. He said, I see that in you. And I want to tell you, the more you do, the more you can do. And he said, always keep on going and being who you are. Be true to yourself. And when I hear how you are busy coaching, how you are busy with your 4 shows, there's so much variety and diversity. Everything that you're busy with is always something edifying and uplifting. And I want to say to you, I see the more you do, Sifu, the more you can do. So you might just end up or 10 shows at the end of the year. Who knows?
Right. You talked about something that I'm doing, and I partnered up with Jose Escobar, and I know you know
Yeah.
Jose well.
Yes.
We are doing a Heroes Rising Summit in New York, July 13th through the 16th.
It's going to be
And
amazing.
we want you there. We want to invite as
Yay.
many people as possible. We're going to have
Yeah.
tons of authors. We're going to have doctors. We're going to have business people, financial
Yeah.
people. We're going to
Love
have
it.
so much. It's going to be a business type of event where either you are a coach, but you and I
Yeah.
said this before. Show me a coach who doesn't have a coach and run
Oh,
from
yes.
them.
Oh,
Run from
yes.
them because all coaches
Run the
should
other
have a
way.
coach. Right. I have several coaches, by the way, and I have a mentor. So for me,
Awesome.
it's incredible when we can bring people together. So all my shows have allowed me to
Yeah.
talk to amazing people like yourself. And
Thank you,
then
Sif.
I said, I need to bring all these people together. And
Mm,
this is why I started Heroes Rising. And
I
to
love it.
me, Juanita, I see that cape on you. You, my dear, are a hero.
Thank you.
I see that
Thank you.
beautiful cape. It's beautiful. It's flowing. So this is why you're a hero, and you need to
Thank
come to the Heroes Rising event, July 2023, July 13th through the 16th. And I
Yeah.
know that we are going to change people's perspective, to
Yeah.
continue to grow and never have doubt, because
Mm,
doubt is what
yeah.
kills dreams, is
Yes.
what kills
Yeah.
ambition. It's what
Mm,
kills opportunity, right?
yeah.
So
Yes.
I
I'm
thank you so
definitely
much. And I
there.
see that beautiful cape you have.
Woohoo! I would love that. I love that, and Sifo, that really it speaks to me because it makes me now this morning and this evening when I'm gonna go to bed, I'm gonna think about what you said and I'm gonna make it my own. I'm gonna reflect and I'm gonna see how can I adjust my behavior to be that hero in someone's life and to
Mm,
really to work on myself because it's all about continuous personal and professional development. And I want to say to the meticulous audience, make sure that you register for the Heroes Rising Summit. I'm going to come all the way from South Africa because I believe I've seen it, I've felt it, I've experienced it with Sifu in his dojo. I'm going to go there. I'm going to be there, and you better be there with me. So make
that's
your
right.
arrangements and keep those dates open.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. I can't wait to see you again. Big hugs, of
Yeah,
course, definitely.
yeah. Thank you, Sifu. And I want to ask you our final question before we close off. This has been an amazing session. I
Thank
loved
you.
every moment, of course. Do you
I
have
have
any
too.
words of wisdom? Thank you.
Your question, I'm
Do you
sorry?
have Yes, do you have any words of wisdom for the audience that you want to leave them with before we close off? And yeah.
Absolutely. I think that the most important thing that everyone should do is follow my great friend Juanita Kapp at Meticulous
Thank you.
Moments. She
Thank you.
is, you guys, and I know we all see it. She's got this beautiful, beautiful cape. It flows.
Thank
And that cape, when you think about it, not only does it take her high, but her influence, her energy, your laugh
you.
is contagious. Don't ever stop being beautiful. And I don't think
Thank
you can stop being that because it's in your heart. Follow
I
my
agree.
great friend Juanita. That's the best advice I can give everybody. Meticulous moments. This today was a meticulous moment for me.
Thank you. Thank you, Sifu Oos. I really appreciate it. And I can't wait to see you again. I'm counting down the days till July. And I just want to say thank you for your time, your expertise. You're always so open and friendly. You really teach us so many lessons. And you taught us so much this evening. And continue, audience, to follow Sifu on all his shows He does the 5 minutes in the morning. Get yourself going, get that movement in, get your mindset right for the day. And to the audience, please network with Sifu Raphael. Please follow him and connect with him. Let's network as we cheer him on this wonderful journey, because he makes the best of every single day. And with that, we say we'll see you in the next show. Goodbye.
Bye.